Hey, so in this week's Interactive, I'm going to share a couple alternate names for November. We're going to share some updates, exciting updates about a brand new website template, and then some really super cool new features that we developed this week and last week for our Pegasus Accelerator Automated Google PageSpeed WordPress plugin. Good afternoon, it's Brandon Devnich from i3D Themes with this week's Interactive number 61, where we share what we're passionate about and what we've been working on here in the i3D Themes Design and Code Labs. So first things first, we'll get the silly one out of the way. This never happens, but last night it became Snowvember here in Victoria, British Columbia. I mean, we are very mild temperature. We rarely see any snow at all, and we were delighted to find that we had to scrape our windshields off this morning and take about an inch of snow off. Also, another name for November now is Movember. If you've ever heard of this before, or if you haven't heard of this, Movember is a sort of a movement to help bring awareness for men's health issues. And so in support of that, I have joined the Movember movement, where I've shaved off all the fuzzy beard, and I'm going to be growing out a mustache for the month of November, much to the chagrin of my wife. It kind of resembles a creepy man from the 1970s. It doesn't look good, but it is in support and brings awareness for men's health issues. And so I've put up my Mobro or Movember website. There's a link in the section above for this video here. If you feel like you'd like to support this cause, by all means take a look at my Movember page. I'm just looking to try to even just bring a little bit of awareness for men's health issues such as prostate cancer and suicide. There's too many men die in early age, and just because they don't even think to go and see their doctor about certain things. Okay, so on to what's really been going on here at i3D Themes this week. This is really awesome. Karma XT. We launched that on Tuesday. We have it in 3 colors. It's beautiful. It is a really modern looking design, something that people are like, wow, I haven't seen anything like that ever. And that's just really so eye-catching. If you haven't taken a look at it yet, go to our website. It's called Karma XT. You may find that it's going to be perfect for your next project. And then in addition to that, we've got probably in the next 3 weeks, we have another one coming that Colin's working in quick succession after this one, before he takes off for a week of vacation at the end of November. We're hoping to get that one out as well. He's also been really busy this week with a huge project list. He's probably got 12 major projects on the go. I don't know how he juggles it all, but he's going to be probably finishing up most of those projects. He's going to try to get done by the end of next week, at which point then he will start the supercharged process of getting that next template into development. What I also want to share with you this week is what we've been doing with the Pegasus Accelerator Automated Google PageSpeed Optimization WordPress plugin. We've been working on this for 6 months now or so. This plugin basically takes a WordPress website and supercharges it. It minifies it, it compresses it, it optimizes images. But we've added some really super cool features to it this last week. It is not yet out of beta. We have probably just actually about a week left before we launch it to our first flight reservation list. So those people that have signed up for reservations of it probably a month or so ago, we're gonna open it up about November 13th, might be the 14th. It just depends on how things roll out here in the next week with beta testing. It's really awesome. We have been benchmarking it the last week or so against different WordPress themes and how fast it is accelerating things. It's accelerating pages at basically you initialize the site. We were testing it against a site that has about 15, 16 pages in it with content and images and a home page with images and sliders. Basically, we installed our Denmark theme, which is, it's got a lot going on in it. We installed it and we ran Accelerator, and it's under a minute, it goes and gets the benchmark page speed score. It gathers the critical path CSS for all the stuff that belongs above the fold, so that when the page first loads up, that the page looks perfect. It then compresses all the HTML, it optimizes the images, and it does it in under 2 minutes for about a 15-page website. So you can think about that. If you have a 50-page website, you're looking at probably about 6 or 7 minutes for the entire website to be done. I don't know about you, but if you've ever tried to manually optimize a website for page speed, it might take 10 times that for one page. So Pegasus does this all for you. Some of the really neat features that we've put in this week, I'm just taking a look at our sort of our list of features here off to the side. We've added lazy loading technology so that if you have any iframes in the page, sometimes that can cause the page to initially load slow. We've added technology to lazy load iframes, lazy load images. We added a second JavaScript deferral mechanism this week, and we've added FAQs and support directly to the plugin. And this is ahead of even the plugin being released to the general public. We're putting all this stuff in place so it's all going to be just perfect for when you go to install it to your WordPress site. We've also just even today finished what are called page level overrides. So you may have all of your settings for the Pegasus system on a site-wide basis, but you might find that on one page you want to turn off one particular thing because it's maybe impacting the display of something in a particular way. And so you can now go and do that, where you can tweak the settings on a page-by-page basis on a very fine detail. That's not something we've ever found with any of the other sort of, I hazard to call them optimization plugins that are out there, because they're not really. Most of them focus in on page caching and maybe even minification. They don't give you a good idea of how your site was faring before installing their plugin or after. So you just have to take it on faith that their product is doing something good for your site. Well, that's one of the things that Pegasus does for you, is that it'll show you what your score is before and once Pegasus is installed. So it gives you a really good idea of where your site was before and what it is after. So anyways, we've also added in this feature where you can specify things on a page-by-page level. And again, that's not something we've ever seen with any other plugin that's out there. We also found with some of the beta testing, we thought this is a weird situation, but we keep seeing it over and over and over again. And that's where in some blog posts or even some WordPress pages, people are using images that are off-site, not on their own WordPress site. So they're somehow getting references and populating it into the code. And so that means you don't have any control over the image optimization. So we're going to be building in a feature to actually optimize off-site images as well, automatically, without you having to think about it. We've also got plans here in the next week or so to be building in the ability to change the level of compression for your images. So maybe you want them to be super compressed. Maybe you don't need high quality, or you maybe want to have as high quality as possible. And depending upon what your website is all about, you might want to sort of fine-tune that. So we're going to be adding that functionality in as well. We also have plans for a sort of a next generation JavaScript deferral mechanism. I think it's kind of technical, but we've got some really cool ideas with that, and just a bunch of other little tweaks, that sort of thing, coming up in the next few weeks as well, as we get closer to the actual full flight launch, which is we've got slated for December 1st. So fingers crossed. At this point, it's all looking really awesome. Some of the benchmarking, as I mentioned earlier, we've been doing benchmarking. On average, a page can be benchmarked, and then the CSS, generated, the critical path CSS has been generated, and then the accelerated score gathered, and the pages compressed and images compressed, all in 7.5 seconds per page. When we took a look at some of these themes that we tested against Denmark, which is, as I mentioned, is a pretty involved design, and it runs at 99 out of 100. We'll see if we can get that last 1%, but that's pretty incredible. By default, it was somewhere in the 70s. Okay, and that's just the way it, with a WordPress website, and you have so many JavaScript files and CSS files and images and that sort of thing, and with WordPress, the images aren't compressed when they're uploaded and then served. So that's about typical for a WordPress site. but we got it to 99. We've tested it with 2017. I think we got it to 100 out of 100. 2016, I think we got it to 99 out of 100. 2015, again, probably 100 out of 100. A lot of these themes that you're going to see on their WordPress featured panel, if you're just getting a free WordPress theme, they don't look really great, but you know, that sort of thing. We have them pretty much up around 99 out of 100 or 100 out of 100, which is pretty incredible. And again, that's what benchmarked with, you know, typical boilerplate content that we would normally have installed with one of our own WordPress themes. So very exciting. We're really stoked to get this thing out and officially launched and see how you folks like it as well. Anyways, that's what's been keeping us busy here this week. We hope you've had a fantastic week as well. Maybe not snowy like us. So thanks so much for joining me. If there's anything in this video that you think maybe somebody that you know might like or find useful, maybe they need to know about Pegasus Accelerator, or maybe you think that the Karma website template might be something that they'd be looking for their own website, by all means, please comment, share, or maybe mention them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you, and of course, we love engaging with our community. Anyways, hope you have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.